great win against Mexico, and you feed off of your wins. It was a perfect start, actually. 5 games, 13 points, almost matched me.
But they bring in a black eye. Having blown chances, there is some frustration on a team that has lost 3 World Cup qualifiers in a row.
We had a combination of poor play and injuries and those type of things that impacted some of the results, but I'm optimistic.
There is good reason for that in great goalkeeping. Wins against Jamaica today and Trinidad and Tobago next month, and they're in.
You gotta win. I mean, there's no really other way to go around it. We gotta win both games.
It is the first home game for any top-level national team since the attack on America. They can make this one to remember. A patriotic crowd is turned out in Foxborough, Massachusetts for match day 9 of 10 tough games for the United States in the final round of qualifying toward the 2002 World Cup. Today, a team that is virtually mathematically eliminated, but has given the U.S. fits. Jamaica is the opponent. Hello again, everyone. I'm Jack Edwards. The significance of this game obviously is dwarfed by developments in Afghanistan, but the game will take place and we will bring it to you. This game is, quite simply, the most important home game for the United States soccer team in a 7-year span, dating all the way back to 1997 when it last qualified for the World Cup, and looking forward to 2004 when it next will try to play in the world's greatest sporting event. I'm working alongside Ty Keogh. The good news for the U.S., Ty, is that Captain Claudio Reyna is fit and back in the lineup.
Claudio Reyna nearly 100%, and he's a player that makes such a big difference for the United States, missing through the last 3 games. He helps create offense, but more importantly, he's a steadying influence throughout midfield, and he eases the responsibilities of the players around him. One of those players around him, 19-year-old Landon Donovan. Donovan has come along nicely, breaking into the U.S. national team in exhibition matches, showing his skills. But more importantly, in World Cup qualifying, even in the loss against Honduras, a dark day for the USA, he was one of the few bright spots. He is electrifying when he's on. The USA needs offense today.
The U.S. played Jamaica in Kingston in June. It was a beautiful tropical day, but not a great one for the U.S. on the field, which ended up with just 1 point out of the tie. That won't do here. The U.S. must win. We're back in a flash. A large crowd in Foxborough, Massachusetts to see the U.S. take on Jamaica on match day 9 of 10 tough games in the final round of World Cup qualifying. Thousands more will fill this place as they've been held up by security checks just outside the gates. Let's check the Avaya starting lineups, Ty.
Onandi Lowe, a tall, powerful, quick forward from the MLS's Kansas City Wizards, will be closely watched today by the United States.
The U.S. lineup.
And for the USA, John O'Brien will complement Claudio Reyna nicely in the center of midfield. And Joe Max Moore, familiar here because he scored many goals for the New England Revolution in MLS.
Before we begin this game between the U.S. and Jamaica, let's join Foxborough Stadium public address announcer John Rook as he calls for the crowd's attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? If you would please rise for a moment of silence as the U.S. Soccer Federation and all of America remember those who lost their lives in the tragic events of September 11 across the United States. Their memories shall never be forgotten.
The United States will wear all white. Jamaica wearing the gold with the green and black trim. Rodolfo Cibrian of El Salvador is the match referee. Cibrian also refereed the U.S.-Mexico game in Columbus. The game is on. Eddie Pope, Jeff Agus. Agus goes up the line looking for Donovan. Dixon ping-pongs it. comes all the way back to the central defender, Marco McDonald. Agus volleys it out. The Jamaican forwards clearly, strategically, are trying to do the same things that the Honduran forwards did successfully on the 1st of September in Washington, D.C. Tremendous speed on this Jamaican team. If the U.S. can get Jamaica to scramble defensively a little bit in the first 15 to 20 minutes, it could set a very favorable tone for the U.S. But Onandi Lowe is a big offensive force. Jamaica appealing for a handball, inadvertent contact, rules Cibrian, and on they go. Joe Max Moore out on the right flank. McDonald comes across and knocks the ball out of bounds.
Jack, it's critical at the back for the United States. Eddie Pope keep a very close mark on Onandi Lowe, and he did there. Pope got a block on that shot, and Onandi Lowe loves the left foot. He was lining that one up, but Pope was right there with him.
Carlos Yamosa not eligible for this game because of yellow card accumulation. If you get 2 yellow cards at any point in this 10-game series, you must sit out the next one. Fitzroy Simpson looking long. Gardner against Sane, down in the corner. Scarlett brings it back out. Dixon throws it into the middle for Fuller. Agus climbs the ladder, wins the ball. Stewart half volleys it up into the middle third. John O'Brien gives it up in the center circle. Dixon goes back toward the U.S. end. Lowe was in offside position, but the play-on rule gives the ball to the U.S. David Reggie back in the starting lineup at left back. Donovan the outside of the football to O'Brien looking for the attack. Joe Max Moore in the middle. O'Brien.
Oh, sweet touch there.
Working against Simpson.
John O'Brien, who has been with Ajax of Amsterdam since he was 17 years old, training with them, and has moved up into the first team. And if it not for injuries, he probably would have become an even more prominent player with Ajax.
Theodore Whitmore with the ball for Jamaica. A nifty player, has tremendous one-on-one moves. O'Brien knocks it down for Chris Armas. Armas penetrates on the dribble, takes on Whitmore, tumbles, draws the foul. Free kick for the United States.
Well, Armas's job mostly a defensive role in midfield, but here, taking players on out wide on the dribble, it shows that the United States is looking to force an early goal.
The captain, Claudio Reyna, over the ball along with Jeff Agus. Reyna's serve low into the box. Joe Max Moore scores! The United States is on top of Jamaica! Right at the 3-minute mark.
Captain America, Claudio Reyna of the Glasgow Rangers. That's what they call him in Glasgow. Joe Max Moore on the diving header. Sensational. And Joe Max Moore is a money player. If you remember, the United States needed to win in Barbados last November, and it was his run that set up the winning goal by Clint Mathis. Joe Max Moore, as Bruce Arena told us yesterday, is the kind of player you want to write into that lineup in a game where the result is absolutely so pressure-filled and so critical.
The United States does not always play the most beautiful soccer, but one thing you can count on is a full-hearted, full 90-minute effort. Reyna with the tackle in midfield wins the ball. Donovan goes inside. He penetrates, top of the box. Tremendous tackle from behind by Scarlett. The drive and a save. Lawrence tested early twice.
John O'Brien's left foot. A lot of confidence displayed there by young John O'Brien. Long range shot, a dipping shot, which gave Lawrence all kinds of trouble.
The United States has made a habit of scoring early at Foxborough Stadium in big games, and once again is on top here in a game it utterly has to win. Reyna into the right wing corner looking for more, too far forward. McDonald is there. Joe Max Moore trying to create something with his hustle. Sane pops it up. Reyna chests it down for Stewart, gets it right back. Reyna is right on his game, trying a chip ball for Donovan. He picks it up on the rebound off of McDonald. Gets it back in traffic, takes a big bump. Moore looking for Stewart. Dixon as Stewart goes tumbling over. Donovan settles. ARMAS. Good possession by the U.S. here. Very aggressive start by the American team. Through ball from Reggie. Moore's shot goes just wide as Donovan was trying to crash the far post.
Things are clicking through midfield for the United States to set up chances. Look at Donovan splitting two defenders. He gets tackled, a fine tackle in fact, extracting the ball. Hustled by Joe Max Moore here, sets up this chance. A swerving outside of the left foot shot by John O'Brien. Landon Donovan makes good decisions in possession, but he also has the confidence to beat people on the dribble. And better yet, he makes the right decision of when to do each of those things.
Stewart off Moore's win of the ball. Leaves it square for O'Brien. Has Reggie overlapping. ARMAS. Reyna showing to the ball. Reyna does so many things that make every player around him a better player. That just another aspect of his game. ARMAS chipping it. It dies for Reggie. Crosses it into the middle. It goes behind Donovan. The United States playing tremendous ball here in the first 7 minutes.
And Reggie looks to be a different player than we saw September 1 at RFK Stadium in the loss to Honduras.
Simpson looping it long, looking for Scarlett, who's behind the D. It's Fuller, rather, and Agus in defensive support of Pope. Takes it away and gives it up for Reyna.
But you see the problems that the power of Onandi Lowe on the ball can cause there. And had not Jeff Agus come over to help Eddie Pope, Lowe would have had a sure goal, or it would have been an incredible save by Friedel.
Reggie going up the line. Stewart. Reggie settles this portion of the match. Brought to you by Budweiser. Reggie. O'Brien. Reggie. You can see the emotion coming out in the Americans' play. Tremendous pace here at the beginning of the game. Reyna has been right at the top of his game, even this early. This man, Claudio Reyna, knows this will be one of the games that he's measured by when his career is over. A must-win for the U.S. to keep its World Cup hopes realistically alive. Reggie, working corner, and it comes off on the deflection. Whitmore, the defender, but the call goes against the U.S. Let's go down to Rob Stone at field level. Rob.
Guys, about an hour and 20 minutes before kickoff, Bruce Arena was notified about the attacks in Afghanistan, but did not tell his players. He really wrestled with the idea, do I have their focus go away from the field and on what's happening over in Asia? Well, just before kickoff, he notified the players that the U.S. has made a major commitment, and we need to make a commitment to win. He said, guys, there's no better time to be an American than right now, and the patriotism obviously showing on the field and right now at Bruce Arena.
Bruce Arena. So successful at the University of Virginia, went on to DC United at the onset, beginning of Major League Soccer, and has had the United States on a very favorable roll until the 3-game losing streak. Scarlett trying to penetrate against ARMAS. ARMAS lets it run out of bounds. Goal kick to the U.S. with Brad Friedel not tested yet. These two teams have played 10 times overall. The United States never has lost to Jamaica, but it is 5 wins, no losses, and 5 ties, including 4 consecutive ties. Jamaica has given the U.S. fits. And remember, the U.S. really has to come away from this game with 3 points to control its own World Cup destiny. Ricardo Fuller is down in midfield. He took a bang on the side of the head. Looks as if it stings, but I think he's going to be okay. Ty, what does the U.S. have to do to come away with 3 today?
Well, they need to control the midfield, and mainly that means Claudio Reyna. We've seen it already. He knows how to put his foot on the ball, literally and figuratively. Reyna puts his foot on the ball, everybody can move into their roles.
Reggie going up against Lowe, but it comes out to the arc. Reggie again over Lowe. Lowe looked as if he was low bridging him, no pun intended. And play on. This portion of the match brought to you by Phillips. John O'Brien, healthy again. Back in the U.S. lineup for the first time since early summer. It is a brisk autumn day in New England. Joe Max Moore, run over from behind McDonald, marking tightly and fouling. Joe Max Moore with the goal at the 3-minute mark. ARMAS. O'Brien gives it up. Simpson shipping out to the wing, and again, Reggie goes up, winning the ball over Fabian Davis. Here comes Ernie Stewart, blazing speed down the left side. Moore calling for the ball, the chip to the far post, and there is Lawrence right in front of Landon Donovan. Donovan making a textbook far post run. If that ball had gotten through, he slots it home.
Ernie Stewart allowed to find gaps going forward.
Reyna settling, Moore taking away Whitmore on the tackle as he alertly comes from behind. Fitzroy Simpson. Now it comes back. McDonald distributing to Fabian Davis. Andy Lowe coming back to the ball. Stewart steals off the first touch. Armas outside of the foot to Reggie. O'Brien with big pressure from behind. Fuller steals the ball. Not enough verbal support. It appeared O'Brien was blindsided and didn't even have any sense that the defender was coming.
Oh, he needs to play quicker anyway through midfield.
Whitmore on the go. Fuller far side, it's onside. The shot goes over the top. Might have been deflected. It is going to be a corner kick.
Brad Friedel covering the entire goal and then some. Ricardo Fuller nearly as powerful and as quick as Onandi Lowe. And the ball slotted over, not a great angle. And Friedel there getting the left hand to it to put it over the bar.
The assignment on Onandi Lowe goes to Tony Sane. Check it, it's Eddie Pope who's over on it. Sane had lined up on him first, and then Pope came over, and that was the designated assignment that Bruce Arena had told us about last night.
Again, Brad Friedel's wingspan, very impressive on that last save.
Reminder, the LPGA Samsung World Championship is coming up next on ABC Sports. The top 20 women's golfers in the world. Armas. Right side for Donovan against McDonald. McDonald screens the ball nicely. Comes square with it, a dangerous ball. Dixon has it though. And now Davis working against O'Brien. Lawrence stripped to the ball. O'Brien faking the shot, tries the one-on-one move, and McDonald picks his pocket at the top of the box.
Remember the goal that John O'Brien scored last summer in this stadium at Foxborough against Barbados, where he walked past 3 or 4 defenders. He was trying to do that again.
Scarlett on the fly from Gardner, the cross. Agus, the torpedo header, drives it out for a throw-in as Fuller was waiting just behind. Jamaica wants to go at Jeff Agus. Agus knows it. He's been around the game long enough.
He's plugged the holes nicely so far, helping Eddie Pope on a couple of occasions, coming in behind Reggie on another.
Top of the box, point blank shot, Lawrence scores! James Lawrence has tied it! Sloppy marking at the top of the box.
Good support here at Foxborough, also for the Jamaican team. This ball floated into the penalty area. Taken off the chest by Lawrence. He had time to line this up. They did not close him down quickly enough. Friedel wants to see defenders all over those potential shooters from Jamaica not have that kind of time to line up their shots and pick a corner.
This portion of the match brought to you by Chevrolet. So the United States makes its task all the more difficult. Having scored at the 3-minute mark, it now gives one up to Lawrence in the 14th minute. O'Brien, Moore tries to turn it to try to get away from Davis. Reyna, O'Brien, Reyna making a run. Donovan's speed cannot recover the ball. The pass behind him. James Lawrence put it in the corner. You cannot give Jamaica that kind of chance. It has struggled offensively in this tournament, in this 10-game series with 6 nations and 3 to advance to the World Cup Finals in 2002. But Jamaica is a multi-talented team which went to the last World Cup and had a good showing there. Carl Brown, the new head coach of Jamaica. Reggie. First touch cross, flag is up, it's offside. It's offside.
Well, James Lawrence took his chance well for the tying goal. And he's a defensive midfielder, but he looked very comfortable in front of the goal. We'll have a look here. No, that's not offside.
Look where the ball is. The ball is forward. That is not a good call.
Yeah.
The ball is forward. That should have counted. You cannot be offside if you're behind the ball.
That was the first ball that was played out wide that they called offside, but that was not offside either.
And you can tell from the football yard lines. Nevertheless, play continues. Reyna tracking back. Low gets kicked up in the head. It's going to be a goal kick. Could have been a high boot ruling as Reyna put the foot up. Also could have gone against Andy Lowe for ducking down into the ball that Reyna was playing. The referee Ciprian elected to let it go. Jamaican player is down. It is Gardner, and the medical staff comes out to attend to him.
Let's have a look at that controversial offside from just a few seconds ago. You see the ball being played here, and as it's played, still in an onside position out wide. It's not offside here because of this player here. So really a poor call by the far side referee's assistant.
You can easily see the football lines that are still here. The field is in tremendous condition. Not enough can be said about this crew, the grounds crew in Foxborough, that has reworked this field since the Patriots played NFL games on it. But the yard lines clearly show that that was not offside. The U.S. has had a good go of it early here in Foxborough.
Barbados, a game which the United States ended up almost making a joke of. Eddie Pope getting a goal there. Here, a more important one against Trinidad earlier this year. Jeff Akers finds Ante Razov. And then today in the 3rd minute, the diving header by Joe Max Moore off of the Reyna free kick. It's interesting, Razov may have started this game, but was sent home yesterday with an ankle problem.
Gardner getting carried off. These injuries often are not as severe as they initially appear. Gardner clearly is in a lot of pain. I would imagine that we will see him back.
Gardner is a dangerous player down that left side. Here's the high boot by Reyna. And the Jamaicans have a good argument for an indirect kick on a high boot from dangerous play from Claudio Reyna.
That was Onandi Lowe who took the foot high, not Gardner, who was behind the play. This portion of the match brought to you by Hershey's Syrup. The U.S. scored first, then gave up the lead. Now, it is in what amounts to about a 70-minute game that it has to win against Jamaica. Jamaica currently playing 10 on 11. Gardner is back to his feet and will ask the referee, Rodolfo Ciprian, for permission to return to the game. ARMAS square for Reyna. The U.S. never has lost a full international here. ARMAS through ball for O'Brien, gets hammered 25 yards away, and there's no call. And O'Brien is down after getting upended.
This is a hard collision. And he gets the touch first. Referee judging that the contact was incidental as the defender attempted to play the ball, but he misses the ball. He takes out O'Brien, but no call for the United States.
Many in the crowd voicing their sentiment about the quality of the officiating so far. Already there has been a clearly blown offside call on a golden scoring opportunity for the United States. The El Salvadoran officiating crew is letting them play, as the saying goes. Scarlett on the throw-in. Over Sonic. Pope in support. But here comes the Jamaican counter. ARMAS. Where you need him to be. Let's go downstairs to Rob Stone.
You mentioned Ante Razov not here after rolling his ankle. Another offensive option not present. Preki could not overcome some hamstring issues, so he was sent back to Miami. And then Friday at practice, Joe Max Moore tweaked his right hamstring. Told me, though, you guys, I'm going to play even if this thing is ripped. However, that leaves the U.S. very thin for offensive options up front, Taikio. Only Jovan Karofsky, Kobe Jones, and Manny Lagos, who has never played for the U.S. at this level.
Right now, though, the critical thing is that Joe Max Moore is moving well. Already has a goal on the board.
Friedel 70 yards downfield looking for more. Reyna's challenge forces this pop-up. Donovan gets pushed from behind, play on. Free go up. Donovan chips it, looking for Joe Max Moore. McDonald on the clear. Sane down for Armas. Whitmore steals it. Davis knocks it down. Armas trips it. Now Armas is going to get a yellow card here. This is a fascinating call, I must say, considering the quality of contact we've seen in other parts of the field that has been let go. And this is a yellow card call.
It's deemed a yellow card because it's a tactical foul. Armas had lost possession at midfield, tries one stab at a foul, here misses the ball here, and his entire job is to stifle those counterattacks. And Armas, if he needs to foul, that's part of his tactics.
This is the first yellow card against Chris Armas in the final round of World Cup qualifying. So he still, at this point, is eligible to play against Trinidad and Tobago. A game which would drop in significance if the U.S. does not win here. Friedel has to play a slow ball from Sane. Joe Max Moore trying to get it to Donovan. Scarlett knocks it down, but Reyna's right on it. Donovan against Scarlett. Pulls it back. Finds Armas. They want to change the point of attack. Armas not a fast enough ball. And on Andy Lowe, back defensively, steals it. Sliding tackle by Reggie, daring, but he gets it up to Stewart. Stewart has a little time, finds O'Brien. The United States wants to change the point of attack. That strategy in June worked for many good opportunities. Against the grain, looking for Armas, he was offside. Alongside Ty Keogh, with Rob Stone at field level, I'm Jack Edwards. This is match day 9 in a series of 10 tough World Cup qualifiers, the final round of qualifying for the 2002 World Cup. It is the most important home game for the United States in a 7-year span from 1997 all the way up through 2004, and the next time they try to qualify. It's the last home game for the U.S. Jamaica is a team that's given them fits. Here's Fuller trying to tear through a tackle. They will push before he penetrated the box. Andy Lowe has taken a pounding from the U.S. defense today. Armas gets pulled down in midfield. This portion of the match is brought to you by Allstate. Very emotional start to this game as Joe Max Moore scored at exactly 3 minutes from Reyna on a free kick. Lawrence answered in the 14th minute to give us the 1-1 deadlock. Reggie looking for Donovan in the seam, heads it forward to Joe Max Moore, the drive! Dixon blocks it out for a corner. There is Landon Donovan making a dangerous ball even more dangerous with the first touch.
It's very easy to criticize from up here with the stop action, but this for the second time, you see the ball already off of Reyna's foot there. No offside here because of this player here. Second call blown by the far side linesman.
Off the corner kick, Lowe heads it clear. Stewart getting pressure from Gardner behind. Stewart gets raked after he gets rid of the ball. Reyna, Stewart's down in a heap on the right side. Play continues on the U.S. advantage. Reyna cuts it back. Now the ball looking for Pope on the far side. Donovan settles on the first touch. Reggie has Pope. Pope's header into the middle. McDonald controls. Half volleys it clear, but it comes right back to Reggie. Good possession by the U.S. The chip into the box for Pope. Chests it down. McDonald, in an emergency, clears it out. This has been a great field for Eddie Pope. He has scored some important goals for the United States. He has scored a goal that won an MLS Cup here. Andy Lowe. Fuller against Angus in the corner. And it's off Fuller, a goal kick to the United States. It is clear, Ty, that the United States is going to get no help at all from the far side official who has blown, just blown, there's no other way to put it, 2 offside calls, both in Jamaica's favor. Scarlett, Reyna, Stewart, Armas, Pope. This is Sane taking on Gardner, beats him one-on-one. Sane trying to hit the seam, too soft, Dixon. Scarlett, Reyna under pressure. Reyna steals the ball. Magician Dixon back for it though. McDonald blasts it up. Agus takes it back. Play all in Jamaica's end right now. Through ball. Donovan's onside. Landon Donovan can't get the laces on the ball. Shanking it off the left foot.
Well, this is good variety in attack for the United States. Rather than spread the ball wide, you'll see John O'Brien here decide to go straight up the center for the quicker attack. Into the run, a curving run by Landon O'Brien. And he just misses the target on the near side, slicing the ball ever so slightly. But you love to see those runs by Donovan, and even better, O'Brien recognizing that Donovan was in a dangerous place.
This portion of the match is brought to you by Nike. Reggie. Davis with a nice move in traffic. Tries to take on one too many though. Here's the U.S. counter. Donovan with his head up as always. Decides to carry the ball. Lawrence runs him over from behind. Play on. Got enough of the ball. Donovan might have gone down a little bit too easily. Scarlett on the square ball. Has a lot of space here. Armas trying to cut it down. Scarlett goes for the hero shot and misses it by 10 yards high. Monday night, Marshall Faulk and the amazing Rams offense travels to Motown to face the Lions. Rams-Lions, Monday Night Football, Monday night, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on ABC Sports. 27th minute in Foxborough, the United States against Jamaica. Next to last game of World Cup qualifying in this region of the world. Stewart's flick-on header comes to McDonald of Jamaica. Gardner with the cleats to Lowe. The short, long ball. Gardner on the go. Turns the corner on Sane, but then Sane cuts him off. Gardner, Davis against Stewart. Pulls it. Drives it across the top of the box. Eddie Pope's in the seam.
Ricardo Gardner on that left side gave the U.S. a lot of problems down in Kingston back in June also. And right now, he and Tony Sane are in a heck of a duel on that far side. And Tony Sane was the Bundesliga Player of the Week last year, scoring a goal for FC Nuremberg. So he showed some confidence a moment ago, beating Gardner on the dribble.
Donovan has Jomax Moore, but can't quite drop it into the space. Very ambitious attempt by Donovan. If the ball had been a couple of feet farther forward, Jomax Moore is in alone. Armas. The thing we've noticed about Donovan in this year in Major League Soccer is his learning curve is incredible. I doubt he'll go down unless truly fouled again in this game. Scarlett bangs against Donovan and he slams into the side, as you can hear that.
Landon Donovan currently the leading scorer in the Major League Soccer playoffs for the San Jose Earthquakes, so he's playing with confidence as well, wants to make his mark internationally.
3 goals and 1 assist in 2 games. O'Brien, Stewart in a seam, too much traffic. Lawrence, the goal scorer, is back. Has a little bit of trouble in his keeper. Aaron Lawrence has to knock it out. James Lawrence, the midfielder who scored the goal for Jamaica. Donovan juggles it right into traffic and loses to Lowe. Reyna tries the slide tackle. Lowe is a monster. Reyna cuts him off and picks his pocket. Clever stuff. A lot of hard time. Oh, Lowe just decks Reyna, and there's no card for that. Clearly a retaliatory foul, and Lowe lets Cibrian hear it. Point blank, no card.
Well, clearly Jamaica's also decided that they're going to try to physically intimidate the captain of the United States, Claudio Reyna, and Landon Donovan.
Reggie into the box and cleared out. This portion of the match is brought to you by Lego.
That foul by Nandi Lowe should have been a yellow card. Excessive force, and obviously he played the man the whole way.
Donovan, first touch O'Brien. Donovan square for Stewart. First touch into the box. Moore looking for O'Brien.
Well, it's a shame that Chris Armas does not have more confidence in his shot, because that ball from Donovan was perfect for a first-time shot.
The Lego star of tomorrow could well be a star today. Landon Donovan, just 19 years old, has scored a goal for the national team. Plays currently for San Jose after an early venture to Germany, which didn't work out the right way for him, but he has come on like gangbusters this season. Cuts it inside. holds the ball. Reyna. The U.S. so much more composed with Claudio Reyna on the field.
Well, and his deputy alongside of him, John O'Brien, helping as well for that possession.
Beats Lawrence one-on-one. Donovan turns it outside for more, and it's another offside call against the United States. This is remarkable. This is remarkable.
Have a look at it again. The ball off of Donovan's foot here. Here's the player in question. And look at the player, the last defender for Jamaica. That is not offside. That is the third consecutive offside call that was blatantly wrong by the far side referee's assistant.
The problem here is that FIFA and CONCACAF, the sanctioning bodies of this game, must be beyond reproach. And CONCACAF assigned a Central American refereeing crew to a game which is vitally important to Mexico and Honduras, two teams that are located much closer to El Salvador culturally and physically than the United States, and certainly in the wake of this cannot be seen as beyond reproach, because at the very least the far side official is incompetent. You rarely see three egregious errors in full international soccer in 31 minutes of play.
He's feeling the pressure also. He's looking into a little bit of sun from the opposite side, but the fact is, maybe if he misses one of those, but to miss all three of them is inexcusable.
Scarlett bangs it into this. Oh, I thought it was going into the stands. My mistake. Stays in bounds. Moore drawing the ball back. Hard outside for Son. Working against Scarlett. Across the box. O'Brien at the arc. The half volley. He can't get the knee over the ball.
O'Brien controlled it very well. I was hoping he would be able with that first touch to get it over towards his left foot. As you can see, the success rate not quite as high with the right.
Well, the United States has to stay mentally composed right now. There's so much going on emotionally for any American. There is so much at stake, although it is just in terms of sport. But for soccer players, the defining moments of their careers come in World Cups. This is a must-win at home for the U.S. It has had some bad calls go against it. A marking error has cost the U.S. an early lead. And now this game is tied against Jamaica, an opponent that has proven to be very, very difficult. The U.S. not beating Jamaica in the last 7 years, playing 4 consecutive ties against this team. Jamaica, it should be noted, is under a bit of duress itself as Hurricane Iris is expected to pound the shores of that tropical island today. And obviously our best hopes and prayers go out to all Jamaicans, especially those who are in the path of that terrible storm. Gardner in midfield pulls it back against Son.
Gardner has been a menace, dribbling speed and also breaking forward on the counterattack.
This portion of the match brought to you by Avaya.
Jack, something that's important here for the United States is, and you alluded to it, they need to keep their cool here. Jamaica very deliberately trying to provoke something with a lot of this physical play.
Lowe takes on Armas, pulls back. Whitmore sends it wide. Into the box, Agus climbs the ladder, Lowe was waiting. Sane pops it to Stewart. Guns it high to midfield. A push before the ball came down. Donovan knocked out of the way. Play very physical, and Cibrian is letting it go. Regis tries to come across the field. Hung up in the wind. There is a bit of a breeze. Reyna chopped down in the center circle. A restart for the United States.
Landon Donovan is going to be battered throughout this game, as is Claudio Reyna. The Jamaicans look at Landon Donovan. They know what danger he presents. They also know that he only weighs about 150 pounds. And if they can punish him enough, they can keep him out of the attack.
Reyna out onto the flank. Regis. Donovan's in the arc. Coming back to the ball. In traffic. Contact, and he went down. Armas trying to find Stewart. Too slow across the grain. Scarlett is very quick and wins the ball. Here comes the Jamaican counter. Simpson trying to go corner. Eddie Pope hasn't had a game in a few weeks, and he is truly at 100%. For one of the few times in the last couple of years.
Eddie Pope's stride there, coming to the rescue, covering a lot of ground at the back for the United States.
McDonald gives up another throw-in. About 10 minutes to play in a very emotional first half. Donovan settles for Reyna. Reyna holding the ball. Stewart's pass, too tough for Armas to handle.
Jack, when we spoke to Bruce Arena last night, he talked about Reyna's influence on the game. Meant that Chris Armas and Ernie Stewart didn't have to do as much passing. And you see that sometimes they're passing. Armas has had a couple of bad passes. Ernie gave one away there. That it's much better for Reyna, like he is here, to dictate play, his distribution out of the middle, allowing Stewart and Armas to go forward more.
Reyna to Donovan, to Moore, out of the wing. Stewart into the middle, the deflection. Dixon with a diving header on the far side. Referee's assistant is calling a foul here.
Or a deflection in favor of the U.S. They will have to confer. Cibrian going over towards his assistant. This could be a penalty kick if the linesman saw an elbow in the penalty area. Let's have a look at the play. The ball after good build-up work. Chris Armas bumped the defender.
Cibrian is carrying the ball here and arguing with the Jamaicans.
This is dangerous if Armas, who already has a yellow card.
It's a free kick out on the wing. What was going on over there?
Had to be away from the ball and must have preceded the cross. Ernie Stewart crossing the ball, perhaps. The handball.
Oh, it's a handball.
Handball.
Whoa, where was he standing?
Well, you know what? Very close to being in the penalty area.
It certainly is not that far out where they placed the ball.
Yeah, certainly closer than where the ball has been placed.
What counts here is where the ball was vertically. It has nothing to do with where the player's feet were. Free kick for the United States. A position very similar to the one on which the U.S. scored at the 3-minute mark. Except this is on the other side of the field, obviously. Reyna, low ball across the box. Moore goes for the volley. Tremendous hard low tackle. McDonald cleaning him out. Ryan. Donovan, soft first touch, killing the hard-paced pass. O'Brien wants to take on Lawrence, and does.
There's some confidence in the dribble.
Davis knocks it out of bounds. A throw into the United States. The U.S. looking very composed, despite some difficult turns in this first half. Regime's long throw. Armas calls, takes it on the thigh, runs into trouble. Fitzroy Simpson on it.
Wouldn't you love to have Brian McBride in there for those long throws for David Reggie?
Aaron Lawrence played nicely out to midfield. O'Brien going over Whitmore to win the ball. Donovan, Reyna, this portion of the match brought to you by the Jamaica Tourist Board. O'Brien.
Smart soccer there by John O'Brien. Under pressure, found the escape valve.
Pope back to O'Brien, settles it. Gets upended after he takes on the man. Play on, the advantage to the U.S. O'Brien banged up, getting up slowly. Not even up yet. Donovan tries to turn it forward for Joe Max Moore. Reyna, clever outside of the foot volley. Lawrence knocking it forward. O'Brien is still down.
Oh, he's been hit hard 2 or 3 times in this game.
Counter here, low against Pope. Low, very powerful left foot. Tremendous athlete. Knocks it off of Pope, goes for a right footer and sprays it out of bounds, and O'Brien is still down. Play has been extraordinarily physical and emotional. Coming up on the All-State Halftime Report with Rob Stone, the players and coach Bruce Arena emotionally remember the 11th of September. There will be a qualifying update, and Ty Keogh will analyze this first half in Foxborough.
John O'Brien has been hammered physically. This is a player who has had ankle problems in the past. They're getting stuck up on one of the hardest hits was this one here. He bounced up from that one, but this last one right there looks like he's having a tougher time shaking it off, and it's the cumulative effect is taking its toll.
Cibrian is writing somebody up on the yellow card. Fabian Davis gets it.
That's good refereeing there, because he played on initially because Reyna controlled the ball even though Davis had fouled John O'Brien. Then on the next stoppage, he came back and addressed the situation with the yellow to Fabian Davis.
Bruce Arena, coach of the U.S. Despite the 1-1 score, has to like the way the U.S. is remaining composed. There was a marking error at the top of the penalty area that allowed James Lawrence to hammer one home just inside the post beyond Brad Friedel's reach. Throw into the U.S. O'Brien chips it forward. Donovan, beautiful first touch. Stumbles, gets held up. And the call is going to go against Donovan for reaching in.
I don't think so.
Against Fitzroy Simpson. Reggie going over the top of Fuller. This portion of the match is brought to you by Phillips. Jamaica obviously content to go into halftime 1-1 or perhaps knock another one home, which would be a devastating emotional blow to this U.S. soccer effort. There's a collision in midfield, and Davis goes down with a little payback.
Yeah, exactly. John O'Brien trying to get his licks in.
Let's go downstairs to Rob Stone. Rob?
Guys, we're tracking two other World Cup qualifier updates that directly affect the United States in Costa Rica. Mexico and Costa Rica scoreless in the first half. Trinidad and Tobago at Honduras also scoreless. Remember, if the U.S. wins today and Mexico and Honduras tie or lose, the U.S. will qualify for World Cup 2002 today.
Rob, thank you. We'll keep posted on those scores. Onandi Lowe trying to juggle at the edge of the box. O'Brien takes it away, gives up the throw into Jamaica.
And those games started concurrently with the kickoff whistle here at Foxborough Stadium.
They may actually be a couple of minutes ahead of us. Davis's throw. O'Brien up. Low, back to Davis, the half volley, centering pass, Pope winning the ball out of the box. Moore trying to get rid of it. That looked like a handball against Gardner. It is.
Well, the United States has had some difficulty dealing with the speed, especially of that man, Ricardo Gardner, on that far side. And Nandi Lowe so powerful on the dribble as well. And this is as cold as it ever gets in Jamaica, here in Massachusetts. And players yesterday that we saw at the Jamaica practice all appeared to be just a little stiffer, not as limber as they normally are.
With the notable exception of Onandi Lowe. Landon Donovan on the outside against Scarlett, takes him on one-on-one, has to come back to the perimeter to Stewart. Stewart squared to Donovan, tries the first touch pass. It goes off of Simpson. Donovan, first touch back to ARMAS in space. Stewart couldn't handle it.
The ball needed to get to Reyna on one of those touches there. He was open in the middle.
Lowe, who was just wearing a mesh penny during yesterday's brisk practice.
Oh, he's a Midwesterner now, though, with Kansas City.
Davis into the box, and there is Sane. You can see the ball hang a little bit in the air. Swirling breezes here in Foxborough. Winds of about 15 miles an hour, dropping the wind chill into the 40s. And another low-stakes opportunity to take a chance for Jamaica.
Wolde Harris, who plays here for the New England Revolution.
All the way to the far post, and Friedel has it. Friedel can bang a long one. This one will hang.
One of the very encouraging signs for the United States in this first half has been not only the ball control and distribution of Claudio Reyna, but how well he's come back and defended and helped to win balls.
Stewart on the go against Scarlett. Tries to cut it back. Scarlett takes him down. That's a trip.
That's a yellow card.
Not in this game.
That's a nasty foul. And Cibrian, the man in the middle, is too far from the play to make the correct call. He's got to move closer to the play. Watch this. Stewart is gone. There's no attempt to play the ball here. It's thank you very much. I'll take the man out.
United States is up against a lot here. Reyna looking for Donovan. Comes beyond Sane. There will be 2 minutes of stoppage time added at the discretion of the officials. Sane. Long ball. It hangs. Reyna against Scarlett. Outside of the foot. Stewart didn't see it coming. There's more tenaciously. Stewart. The shot blocked down by Dixon. O'Brien at the arc. The juggle move. The volley. What a tremendous display of skill by John O'Brien. Aaron Lawrence on the save.
Beautiful touches by the young man from Playa del Rey, California, who went to Amsterdam to play with Ajax and train with them as a 17-year-old.
Regis, who has had a much better first half than he had against Honduras. There's ARMAS with a stick tackle. Finds more. Reyna. Looping it. Dixon. McDonald tries to drive it forward. Too hot for Whitmore to handle, but there's Lowe. ARMAS takes him down from behind. This could be, oh, that was very close to ARMAS getting thrown out of the game for a second yellow. And Cibrian looked for a moment as if he was reaching, and then I think he realized it was ARMAS.
Jamaica now has a complaint about the officiating. In almost every instance, that would be a yellow card, which of course would have been ARMAS' second of the half.
Well, Jamaica's basically 3 bad offside calls from making it all even here. It has not been a well-officiated game. Donovan against Dixon.
Well, Cibrian has decided to let it all go.
And the first half comes to an end at Foxborough Stadium. John O'Brien with a lightning move. Joe Max Moore's diving header off Claudio Reyna's free kick at exactly 3 minutes. Put the U.S. up 1-0, only to have James Lawrence come back in the 14th minute. It's a 1-1 game, in a game the U.S. must win to control its World Cup Finals destiny. Rob Stone is back with the All-State Halftime Report.
Welcome back to ABC Sports live coverage of this World Cup qualifier. 3rd minute, Joe Max Moore put the States up early, but Jamaica came back to equalize. And at the break, we are tied at 1. This is the All-State Halftime Report. I'm Rob Stone. We will forever remember where we and our families were on the morning of September 11th. But for the U.S. soccer, men's soccer team that is, well, they kind of experienced and endured this day on a worldwide level. Players and coaches were spread throughout the globe, but their hearts, prayers, and thoughts were clearly in the United States.
Yeah, it was 2 o'clock. The second training was at 2, and we had to do sprints of quite a hard training. And then our kit man came out and said, "Where's your family from in New York?"
I was on my way home from training, just about to walk in the house, got a phone call.
I ran in and started watching CNN, and you know, it's just like a never-ending story. It's like a movie where the subtitles never come on. Something unreal.
I was in the shower and my wife told me that planes hit the World Trade Center. A plane hit the World Trade Center, and they thought it was a terrorist attack. And I said, "You're crazy."
Well, I was on the turnpike actually going to training for the Metro Stars.
On the way to practice, must have been around 8:15, 8:30 in the morning in Chicago. We started hearing things on the news.
Everybody has their own stories, and you speak about it, but in the end, everybody's still trying how hard it is, you know, to focus on the game.
It's the first time a team in any sport will take the field calling themselves the United States.
It's very important for us, I think, to show the world that we've bounced back as a nation and also as a soccer team, and we're not going to let this get in the way of our goal to try and reach the World Cup.
Obviously, it makes you think a little bit more about putting on the colors, representing the country, and hopefully we feel it, and I think the fans in the country can get behind us and feel it too.
If you told me that If we don't qualify, we can get back the 6,000 people we lost on September 11th. I would take that any day.
And today, the U.S. men's national team has that infamous date inscripted on the left sleeve of their jerseys. This is the Allstate Halftime Report. We'll be back after this. The U.S. Jamaica tied at 1. Welcome back to Foxborough, Massachusetts, and the Allstate Halftime Report. We're tied at 1 at the break. This is how the U.S. has fared up to today in this year's World Cup qualifying. Back in February, they began their 5-game unbeaten run, outscoring the opposition 6-1. But things began to turn in July. Twice in their last 3 qualifiers, the States have been shut out en route to dropping 3 straight, but 2 wins in their final 2 qualifiers, and the States will qualify for their 4th straight World Cup. The U.S. concludes their quest for World Cup 2002, November 11th in Trinidad and Tobago. Live coverage of this huge one on ABC Sports, 2 p.m. Eastern, Sunday, November 11th. When we return to New England, Jack and Ty break down the first half. This is the Allstate Halftime Report.
Welcome back to the Allstate Halftime Report. In Foxborough, Massachusetts, a large and very spirited pro-American crowd is here. Many of them high school players in support of the United States. A game the U.S. has to win against Jamaica in order to continue to control its World Cup destiny.
And
First half highlights.
And the United States wanted to get on the board very early. Here in the 3rd minute, Claudio Reyna. A diving header by Joe Max Moore off of the Reyna cross. And the USA appeared to be in control, especially here. Landon Donovan showing his skills. Pressure here coming out to John O'Brien, who struck that with authority. A big save by Lawrence in goal. The other Lawrence, though, coming up with the goal here, a lack of marking. I think Joe Max Moore could have tracked him a little bit better. James Lawrence with the tying goal. But here, controversy. Claudio Reyna just above the mark there, has already played this ball through out to David Regis, who's not in an offside position when this ball is played because of the man over in the center. And it was one of several calls that were incorrect on the offside against the United States.
This is what the United States is up against. 45 minutes without interruption coming up right after the break. The U.S. needs to win to control its World Cup destiny. This has been the Allstate Halftime Report. If you're in the sunshine, it is a warm place to be. But if you're in the shade, you will feel the chill of autumn in New England. We're at Foxborough Stadium. The United States wearing white against Jamaica, a team that is virtually mathematically eliminated from the 2002 World Cup. First half stats. Note that the U.S. has been ruled offside 3 times. Replays have shown that the officials have blown all 3 offsides calls.
You see the offense for the USA on top with the 7 shots, but if you look at the 12 fouls, Jamaica has tried to intimidate the United States at midfield here on John O'Brien. Also, ARMAS picking up a yellow card and lucky not to get a second yellow card. Reyna has been the object of some of the fouls. Landon Donovan and John O'Brien have borne the brunt, and Ernie Stewart of the physical approach by the Reggae boys.
Jamaica is a very proud team. It clings to mathematical hope in that if it can finish with 2 victories and the United States and Mexico both lose their remaining 2 games, then Jamaica could get in. Highly unlikely.
Jamaica, though, playing with a great deal of spirit today. In fact, over-exuberant at times, as illustrated by all of those fouls that we just watched.
The wind entering the stadium favors the United States, but it tends to swirl a great deal here in Foxborough. Andy Lowe out onto the right side for Lawrence. Dixon looking forward, and ARMAS wins the ball. Reyna, who was very effective in the first half. Moore back to Stewart in traffic. Now Reyna holding the ball. Looking for Sané to sneak forward. James Lawrence, the goal scorer. Moore's toe poke brings it out over the sideline. Let's go downstairs to Rob Stone.
The guy just spoke with the coaching staff. A couple of the points they made in the locker room. They want to keep the ball moving just a little bit quicker than it has been. They told Landon Donovan, Joe Max Moore, stay higher, try and create a couple more free kicks for us. And then to Chris ARMAS, who you guys saw probably should have been tossed out of this game with that late foul for a second yellow. He said, look, the guy gave you a break. He's not going to give you another one. Be careful out there, Chris.
James Lawrence out wide to Linval Dixon. Now Whitmore, who's a good dribbler of the ball, elects to go to the pass this time. Fuller takes it off the chest. Agus is all over him, runs it out of bounds. It'll be a throw in to Jamaica. This portion of the match is brought to you by Haviland. Bruce Arena needs to get 3 points out of this game. Pope heads it back out wide. Agus hammers it out. Another throw into Jamaica. Linval Dixon there. This is Fuller. Agus and Reggie in defensive tandem. And again, another throw in to Jamaica. The U.S. is marking off throw-ins against Honduras. Was not very good. Cross into the box, a bad hop right in front of Friedel.
Good tight marking though out in front of Brad Friedel. Eddie Pope right on Nandy Lowe. So there's no danger that Lowe could win an uncontested header there, allowing the ball to go through to Friedel.
No substitutions announced to begin the second half. Both teams have their full complement of 3 remaining. Donovan carrying square. O'Brien, who looks okay after getting bashed around in the first half. Carries through, goes inside out against Davis, cuts it back, Moore! A tremendous save! Aaron Lawrence saving the day for Jamaica.
You had everything there. You will not see a better soccer play today because of the dribbling and confidence of John O'Brien. It beats 2 players with 1 move, pushing it on one side, going on the other. A wonderful cross. Joe Max Moore there to meet it. An incredible goalkeeping by Aaron Lawrence.
Joe Max Moore, so aggressive. O'Brien, that beautiful move, going inside out, and Davis didn't know which way to turn.
Another good near post run by Joe Max Moore. A near post run in the 3rd minute led to his go-ahead goal for the U.S.
Agus to take the corner. Drives it low, the diving header attempt. Another shot, and that goes wide as Moore gets one off while slipping down.
Joe Max Moore, who plays in England for Everton, getting his foot to this ball, and an incredible reaction save by Aaron Lawrence. Keeps out what would have been the go-ahead goal for the United States.
This will hang in the wind and die only about 35 yards upfield. James Lawrence heading it forward to Whitmore. There's Pope to turn it back. Stewart, Moore, outside of the foot volley. Scarlett, nice skill, turning it away and catching on the instep. He lobs it up into the air. And again, this wind is helping the U.S. even down the floor of the stadium. It is blowing left to right. It seems a little bit stiffer than it was in the first half. Stewart outside of the foot, the ball curls away. Moore going hard after Lawrence and getting whistled for the foul. This portion of the match is brought to you by Budweiser.
Jamaica electing to go with a lot of long ball in their attack. We have the tall, powerful runners up front in Fuller and Lowe.
McDonald arches one. Friedel will screen the ball out of bounds. And the Jamaicans, looking back for that ball, were blinded by the sun, which sets at a horrible angle. In the NFL, you see wide receivers who go to the Pro Bowl routinely drop balls when they look back into this sun. It's at a low angle in October in New England. Joe Max Moore running onto it, and it forces the throw in as McDonald has nowhere to go. Another example of hustle paying off for the U.S. Reyna calling for the ball. Took a bad hop. He recovers it on the slide tackle. Scarlett and Stewart. Scarlett a little quicker to the ball. Scarlett really impressing the Jamaican coaching staff, winning playing time with his very heads-up play and terrific quickness.
He loves to come forward from that left back position, and doubly dangerous on this near side, Jamaica, because also Ricardo Gardner seems to have Tony Sané's number to the degree that he thinks he could beat him on pace.
Low with a nice ball for Fuller. There is Reggie. Friedel has to play it, settles, and then drives it out wide at midfield. A safe ball.
Bruce Arena yelling, be alert, especially on these quick throw-in plays where Jamaica tries to exploit their speed.
Sane holds low, and it's a free kick for Jamaica. The Jamaicans will walk up. There is that sun, and as it goes down farther and farther, looking back, as you can see, Friedel shielding his eyes. As the Jamaicans look back for these left side crosses, it'll be very hard to pick up. No easier for Friedel, we should add. Terrific skill from O'Brien as he settles, but then boots it away in midfield.
And Brad Friedel, who's been playing for Blackburn in the English Premier League, has had 8 or 9 games under his belt in the last month. That's why he got the call over Casey Keller.
This is a foul against Jamaica as McDonald has more ride the pony. Quick restart, and Cibrian's going to rule that it has to come 3 steps farther back from where Reyna placed it down. Reyna wants to change the point of attack. O'Brien back for more, tries the volley, can't get it on goal. The substitution options with about 40 minutes to play.
Greg Vanny, who's on the right, Casey Keller on the left, who's with Tottenham Hotspur in the English Premier League. We look here at the other options. Kobe Jones for offense, Karofsky as well, Lagos, the other guys. Hopefully we'll see Richie Williams. That means we're defending a lead. Steve Cherundolo.
Simpson off to Whitmore across the scarlet. Stewart the defender. Gardner comes square. Whitmore low, going against Pope. A couple of Major League Soccer players here. Reyna in support. Pope takes it away. He comes through to Stewart. Here's a counter. He's got more in the middle. 3-on-2. He's got Donovan on the right. Stewart carrying, can't get off a good pass. I don't know what went wrong. Linval Dixon.
Stewart pointing at the turf as if he had lost his footing because it was a great run down that left side, and all the ball needed to be done was delivered earlier by Stewart before he slipped.
Play on here. Whitmore with a good move through midfield. Reggie trying to recover. On comes Whitmore. Penetrates into the box. The shot. And a save by Friedel. Long individual run.
Whitmore known for his dribbling skill and runs through midfield. You see them less and less, though, because he's well into his 30s.
Donovan cuts it back against Gardner. Gains some time. Has O'Brien and spreads it across to him. O'Brien settles. Donovan going to the far post. Here's the return. McDonald heads it down. Stewart, the drive blocked out. Tremendous defensive play as Linval Dixon gives up his body.
Yeah, he's feeling that one. That's going to leave a mark.
O'Brien. Donovan is onside. There was a defender for Jamaica down, lying in the 6-yard box. It's McDonald.
Well, Donovan and John O'Brien combining well. Ernie Stewart, the beneficiary here at the top of the box. He drills this shot, coming across his captain, Linval Dixon, to put the block on that one. Here, Landon Donovan appears to be offside there, but he's not because there's a defender back here on the ground for Jamaica. His touch not quite good enough anyway.
From our vantage point, we cannot see the near side official, and it would be his flag that would have gone up. I do not know if in the spirit of the game with the defender down, they ruled Donovan to be offside. Nevertheless, it is going to be a while before McDonald is able to get up. Sunday night, Carolina coach George Seifert, formerly of the 49ers, takes his Panthers to San Francisco. Jeff Garcia and the Niners await. Mike Patrick, Paul McGuire, Joe Theismann have the call. Coverage begins with NFL Primetime at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. For more information, you can log on to ESPN.com. Here are the standings in CONCACAF, the region that is comprised of North America, Central America, and the Caribbean. There are 6 finalists. The top 3 will advance to the World Cup of 2002. First place Costa Rica is in. Honduras is in second place, Mexico in third, because with 13 points like the United States, Mexico has a better goal difference. That is the first tiebreaker, and we're showing you that because after the next match day, that tiebreaker does come into play. Mexico giving Costa Rica a pretty good time early in the second half. They're in the 52nd minute in San Jose. Honduras, surprisingly, 0-0 with Trinidad and Tobago. And if TNT could pull out a 0-0 at Honduras, that immensely helps the United States, especially if the U.S. can pot another one and get a win here. McDonald back on his feet. Stewart. More. Donovan! It's wide. This portion of the match brought to you by Phillips.
Landon Donovan, a 19-year-old running free. Good little touch there by Joe Max Moore into Donovan's run. Donovan off the target again, but he's creating those chances, which is important that the U.S. keep the pressure on.
He is a pure finisher, and if he gets another few chances, one of them surely is going to go in.
Joe Max Moore looking very sharp also, and part of that reason is Everton in the English Premier League in season. You're seeing this, the U.S. lineup here has 7 European-based players on the field.
Sane and Agus in defensive support, and they'll give up the throw to Jamaica. Marco McDonald has returned to the game, so we are back playing 11 against 11. Scarlett gives it up to Reyna, trips him right away, and there is your yellow card foul. And Ciprian pulls the plastic out of the pocket. 57th minute.
Scarlett with the yellow card, fouling Reyna.
Ball drifts over Reyna in the swirling breeze. Pope punts it forward. O'Brien going after it, wins the ball. Has Donovan on the left side. Goes for the shot! Just over the top! John O'Brien! There is the creative offense that the U.S. has lacked because of injury. Why not?
Well, the U.S. team so weakened over the course of those 3 losses. Not having the option of Claudio Reyna or John O'Brien in midfield.
Donovan's pressure forces a turnover here.
O'Brien really turning it up. First, a great tackle to set up this play, and then striking this ball just inches over the bar. And I don't believe Aaron Lawrence would have gotten to it.
O'Brien penetrating. Donovan tries the 1-2. It comes right back to him. Moore, head up, looks for Stewart! Aaron Lawrence on the one-hopper, and Stewart's cursing himself. But the U.S. is knocking, almost pounding on the door.
Quick thinking on the flanks by the U.S. Good quick tackles by John O'Brien in midfield, but also strong runs through the Jamaican penalty area by Landon Donovan, by Ernie Stewart.
This portion of the match is brought to you by Chevrolet.
Joe Max Moore on his near post runs has been very dangerous, including the goal that he scored in the 3rd minute of play.
G winning it over the top. Too far forward for Moore. Gardner goes down, play on. Jamaica's advantage. McDonald. Scarlett, who's shown himself to be pretty quick. Simpson through midfield. Gardner, there goes Scarlett on the overlap run. Through the box. Regis climbs the ladder. Pope heads it forward, but it comes right to Whitmore. Davis into the box. Fuller bangs with Agus, tries to turn the corner, still holds, penetrates to the middle, and it is Regis on a fine defensive play. Quick counter, Donovan's very fast. Donovan pushing the line forward. Moore holding, too far forward for Reyna. The U.S. getting a little bit gappy here as the midfielders can't keep the pace with the quick counter. Davis settles. Jamaica, a little bit of possession in the middle third here. Gardner trying the scoop, too far forward. Sane for Reyna. Tremendous pace here. The U.S. playing with great emotion. Fantastic support. It looks like at least 40,000, maybe somewhere in the mid-40s here at Foxborough Stadium. Regis up the line, it curls on the line and stays in. Stewart! Saved by Aaron Lawrence. He is doing the job for Jamaica under tremendous U.S. pressure with about 30 minutes to go.
Ernie Stewart disappointed. He's had 2 chances just in the last couple of moments, but it's John O'Brien out on that left side. He's moved wider. He's gotten into more one-on-one situations, and he's providing those dangerous crosses.
Whitmore wants to go long for Fuller. Agus has him marked. Regis. David Regis has redeemed himself so far. had a nightmare against Honduras. O'Brien, second touch out to Reggie on the overlap, tries the juggle move. He cannot get it over Davis. Dixon under pressure from Moore. McDonald under pressure from Stewart.
You see Ernie Stewart now playing practically as a third forward alongside Joe Max Moore and Landon Donovan to put extra pressure on the back line of Jamaica.
Unlucky bounce. It looked as if it came off with Sane, and it's a tough call going against Jamaica here. And now McDonald is down for the second time in midfield, actually in his defensive third, and there will be significant stoppage time added if the referees are paying attention here. Let's send it downstairs to Rob Stone.
Jack, we're joined out by, I'm sorry, but you got to say, Boston legend, Noma. Noma, thanks for joining us for this wicked game. You're a big soccer fan. I know you hung out with some of the boys this week. Where'd you take them?
We went out to dinner down in North End. You know, I had to show them Boston. They wanted to go have a good meal, and I said, hey, we got to go to North End. So we had a lot of fun.
What kind of host are you in your hometown here?
I don't know what kind of host I am. You're going to have to ask them. You know, you ask them what kind of host I am. But we had a good time. It was good to see them. I know Joe Max really well. Met Kobe and Carlos and everything, so we had a good time.
Tell me about your passion for this game, because somebody told me a rumor you'd like to buy a team one day, and I think they're paying you enough to do it too.
Well, you know, that'd be great. I mean, this is I really love soccer. I grew up playing both soccer and baseball my whole life, and you know, eventually had to pick one, and I unfortunately, you know, for the soccer fan, I picked baseball. For the baseball fan, I picked baseball, but I love them both. I really do, and that's why I always come out here, support them. Like I said, I have some good friends who play soccer, and I always enjoy watching them play.
No more Gaspar. We appreciate your time. Enjoy the rest of the game.
I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Rob, thank you. There's Joe Max Moore. The Red Sox finishing up their season on the last night of Cal Ripken's career, last night at Camden Yards in Baltimore. McDonald will leave the game. Tyrone Marshall of the Miami Fusion will come in. And this is a player who willingly, I should say, will go forward in the attack. Ty, if you're U.S. coach Bruce Arena, do you just say, keep doing what you're doing? Because the chances seem to be coming.
In fact, Tony.
Forward,
Pope getting wrestled down in midfield, and this goes against the U.S. as Onandi Lowe manages to draw yet another foul.
Jack, the only risk is by sending Ernie Stewart forward as a third attacker and getting more and more players into the attack, you get a little too stretched out, and then you become vulnerable to some of the speed that Jamaica possesses on the flanks as well as up front with that long ball approach.
Fitzroy Simpson looking for Lowe. Again, it's Reggie going up. Gardner heads it forward. Reggie volleys it 50 yards upfield. Marshall's first touch. Alongside Ty Keogh with Rob Stone down at field level. And with our ABC crew, I'm Jack Edwards. This is the final home qualifier in the final round of World Cup qualifying for the United States against Jamaica. Both goals in the first 14 minutes of this game. The U.S. scoring by Joe Max Moore. Here's Ford volleying it into the box, and ARMAS has to give up a corner. And Jamaica threatening here.
A big play by ARMAS because the United States got caught there on one of those quick throw-ins, mostly because David Reggie was down. He had been stepped on. He looks like he's going to be able to continue.
This portion of the match is brought to you by Jolly Rancher. In swinger, Friedel punches it clear. Donovan backs it against Scarlett. Push against Scarlett, restart for the United States. No, it's coming all the way back into the box where it was a push in front of Friedel. The volume level quite considerable down in the floor of the stadium. Friedel. 65 yards with the win. Joe Max Moore wins it for Reyna. He brings it down. Scarlett with a good defensive play. You can see why they are so high on him. And he wants the counter. Gardner gives it back to him. In traffic, Lowe comes back, takes it off the foot of his own teammate. ARMAS contending hard. And defensive support from Pope wins the ball. Moore twisting to get away from Davis. Scarlett on the sideline. Simpson, nice move in traffic. Gardner spraying it across. Reggie again. Stewart spun around and down. Ford has a lot of moves, gains the arc. Can't get much on it in Friedel. has the ball. The U.S. needs some of that Claudio Reyna midfield composure here. It's getting a little scattered for the U.S.
Well, give some credit to Jamaica as well. They're bringing players forward, getting them into the attack, and causing some problems, especially with that speed on the flanks. You mentioned Scarlett joining Ricardo Gardner on this near side, but up on the other side, Linval Dixon getting into the attack as well.
Armas from Reyna as the U.S. holds the ball and now works it forward. Reggie plays it quickly, looking for Donovan and more. Big collision. Two Jamaicans go tumbling down. A man still down in the box for Jamaica. It is James Lawrence who ran into Aaron Lawrence, the keeper. Agus saves a breakaway for Lowe. Aaron Lawrence and James Lawrence, the collision.
Aaron Lawrence, the goal scorer for Jamaica today. Got absolutely... Aaron Lawrence, the goalkeeper. James Lawrence, the goal scorer for Jamaica today. James Lawrence getting hammered by his own keeper. Joe Max Moore did not flinch at all. He was going all the way in for that ball, which is why Aaron Lawrence had to go full out for it, and in the process, make such physical contact with his own player.
Joe Max Moore plays like a Tulsa Roughneck. His dad owned the NASL team, and Joe Max is all about waking up and chewing nails for breakfast. A score update. Let's go downstairs to Rob Stone.
Well, certainly a surprising result right now. Trinidad and Tobago on the road has gone up 1-0 over Honduras. Again, if the U.S. wins today, Honduras and Mexico tie or lose, the U.S. will qualify for World Cup 2002. And right now, Mexico and Costa Rica scoreless in the second half. Those results stand, and the U.S. can go up and lead and win. They're in.
A long way to go in all three games being played in CONCACAF. This portion of the match being brought to you by Allstate. Aaron Lawrence under pressure. The U.S. has had some opportunities in the second half.
They've created these chances with the running of Joe Max Moore. John O'Brien, a tremendous run down the left side to Joe Max Moore, and Aaron Lawrence coming up with a spectacular save. Joe Max Moore here to Landon Donovan, shooting wide. Ernie Stewart's had a couple of chances. John O'Brien shooting from long range, just over the bar. Joe Max Moore to Ernie Stewart on the header. So the U.S. has peppered the goal of Aaron Lawrence, and Jamaica, though, has still produced some counterattacks the other way that have been quite dangerous.
We have got to see at least 5 legitimate minutes of stoppage time added to this second half. There have been 3 significant stoppages. We will see at the discretion of the referee.
Aaron Lawrence saved the day on that Joe Max Moore first-time volley from the John O'Brien cross, keeping this 1-1 deadlock going.
The U.S. had sprayed it out of bounds in order for the Jamaicans, who had tangled up in the collision, to get straightened out. And in sporting fashion, the Reggae Boys give it back. So here's Friedel's restart late in the 69th minute.
James Lawrence is back on the field now.
Armas can't control the first touch. Here's Gardner on the counter. Going left side for Lowe. He's got a murderous left foot. Lowe curls into the near post, all the way to the far post, and there is Reggie shutting down Gardner. An emergency situation as that ball crossed right through the face of the goal.
There's no question that David Reggie, back at the back post here, saves a goal. Friedel dealing with the sun, dealing with a curling ball that was well over the top of him. If not for good positioning by Reggie, the U.S. is trailing.
And the wind holding the ball outside the goal mouth. This comes all the way across, and Friedel reaches up for the grab. Wants the counter, now pulls up. He sails this one 65 yards in the wind. This will go all the way into the 18-yard box at the other end. Scarlett back to Aaron Lawrence. Whitmore. Davis taking on Armas. Simpson. Whitmore. Agus heads it forward to Reyna. Nice move to get around Simpson. Carries it outside against Davis and beats him. Now changes the point of attack. Stewart. Donovan a half step late, but Stewart recovers it. Donovan trying to feed it through to Moore. Good idea, couldn't quite get it through to him. Agus to Reyna. Reyna tries the chip. Too far forward for Moore. Moore comes back to win the ball. Sane. Reyna. Trying to go straight forward. Tyrone Marshall alertly volleys it up to the midfield mark. Anani Lowe goes around Pope. Has Fuller. Agus in defensive support. The U.S. backliners, with the exception of that glaring mistake in the 14th minute, playing the way they did in the early going. Agus, through ball, Donovan. Has Moore. Stewart on the far post. Tyrone Marshall picks Donovan's pocket. Comes inside to Dixon. Whitmore heads it forward. Reyna has 5 yards of space all around him. Draws it back against James Lawrence. ARMAS. Donovan. Goes through ball for Tomax Moore! Can't quite get to it, and again Aaron Lawrence alertly off his line. The difference in this game right now. This portion of the match brought to you by Nike. Gardner, change of pace, goes around Sane. Reyna trying to corral him. Forward for Fuller. Pope is there. Friedel will have to play it with the foot.
Number 15, Ricardo Gardner, is the real thing on the left side of midfield for Jamaica. Dribbling with tremendous speed and opening up gaps.
Davis into the box, Friedel calling all the way. The shadow's beginning to creep out to the edge of the 18-yard box that Friedel is defending. Through ball going over the top. Marshall stopping Donovan from having a point-blank chance. O'Brien turns it for Reyna. Sane going up the right side. Stewart trying to touch off to Sane. Good aggressive tackle through the ball. James Lawrence, the goal scorer. Picking up a bruise on his arm. Kobe Jones, an offensive option for the United States, has a tremendous amount of pace. The U.S. doing everything but putting the ball past Aaron Lawrence right now. ARMAS into the box. Too far forward. O'Brien deflects all the way back. Whitmore was the defender, depriving O'Brien of the chance to tee it up. Lawrence's punt will hang. Fuller against Reggie. Reggie using the body well.
John O'Brien has made his mark in this game, even more so in the second half as he's ventured farther out towards that left sideline. He's got some dangerous crosses in. He may have to drop more central now when Kobe Jones joins.
Reggie. Sane gets in there and wins it. Sane trying the first touch back from Reyna. Scarlett all over Sane. Down in the corner. Scarlett with a handful of Sane. And it comes out. It's the U.S.'s throw. Nope, we're going to rule it's Jamaica's throw down there. This portion of the match is brought to you by Lego.
Jamaica also preparing a substitution.
Paul Hall will be coming into the game for Onandi Lowe. Hall plays for Walsall in England. Lowe creating a lot of chances up front, paying a great physical price. Has done his part for his nation today. It's nervous time for the United States. In order to control its own destiny, the U.S. needs to win today before it can think about trying to win at Trinidad and Tobago. Regardless of what appear to be favorable results elsewhere, the U.S. has to take care of business. In the arc. No chance for Joe Max Moore. Double team. Fuller. ARMAS and Agus double team him. Whitmore, deceptive ball. Pope steps forward to toe poke it away. High boot coming through. Fitzroy Simpson fouling ARMAS. Those are two hard players right there. Reyna looks for the restart. Substitution first. Jermaine Johnson, a dangerous player, will come on, I believe, for James Lawrence. It is. So the goal scorer comes out. And all three substitutions have been used up by Jamaica. The U.S. has yet to use one. Marshall, forward. Johnson on his first touch. Now Gardner looking for Fuller. Pope on a good tackle. Jermaine Johnson, very quick, beats ARMAS. Stewart in support, wins the ball. When the U.S. is playing good defense, there's just wave after wave of white-shirted players.
We talked about the U.S. controlling the midfield, not only with the ball, but also stopping Jamaica at midfield so they can't get the counterattack going.
Good 1-2 work. Here's Donovan sending O'Brien in. O'Brien stops the ball for Reina. The shot blocked back. Counter chance for Jamaica. Here they come to the other end. It's getting to be that racehorse time of the game. Players getting tired. Substitutions very valuable. Here's one of them, Jermaine Johnson, coming out wide. Davis on the penetration. Check that is Paul Hall. This is Davis. Settling away for more. Reggie gives up the throw-in. Tremendous, palpable tension in the crowd in Foxborough. Fuller in the box, whistle. They stopped for a whistle that might have been blown out of the stands, and now Cibrian motions that there is a foul against Jamaica. He picks up the ball, and I am completely baffled by what's going on here.
Yeah, he's talking about the whistle that's in the stands. He's going to have a drop ball, I believe.
All right, they will have a drop. And there should be additional stoppage time here because Cibrian is going to let a full minute tick off before he restarts play here. This is unnecessary. It's obvious that he wants an announcement that there shouldn't be whistles blown from the stands.
He probably wants security to go up and try to look.
Well, there's a needle in a haystack.
Yeah. Now his whistle.
His whistle works. I will be very curious to see how much stoppage time is added at the end of the second half. This is the fourth significant stoppage of the half, one of which was at least 2.5 minutes long. And Cibrian now drops the ball for Friedel and rules that it was a foul against Jamaica.
It's a mystery to me why he had to come all the way over to report his call. He should make his call and play on.
Joe Max Moore. Carrying middle. Not a good chip. Sane gets caught. Moore retrieves it. Sane. Gardner on his back. Plays it too late. Whitmore, so tricky in traffic. Donovan on a slide tackle. Donovan not known for his defense, making the play there. Scarlett does play it quickly. Armas wins the ball back, now Sane. Pope didn't expect it. Gardner pops the ball up. O'Brien settles. Beautiful first touch. Reggie holding it, squirts away from him. Now goes down toward the corner for Reina. Heads it for Donovan. Stewart going forward. Reina for Donovan against Marshall. Turns it down! Penalty kick! Penalty kick! Landon Donovan hammered down in the box, and it's going to be a PK for the U.S.
Brilliant combination between Landon Donovan and Claudio Reina. They timed it perfectly. And really, not a good decision by Tyrone Marshall. The ball into space behind the defense. Marshall completely misplays it as Donovan had stopped the ball very quickly. And as Donovan went to cut, he was wiped out, both his legs taken out from under him by Tyrone Marshall.
The United States had everything going its way until Ernie Stewart had a penalty kick saved at RFK Stadium on the 1st of September.
No argument about that call. Clearly a foul in the box by Tyrone Marshall.
20 years from now, people may say that this was one of the biggest moments in U.S. soccer history when you consider all that is at stake here. Landon Donovan taken down on a brutal tackle in the box, and Joe Max Moore, known for his skill in free kicks, to take it against Aaron Lawrence. The crowd on its feet in the 81st minute. The U.S. must win to control its World Cup Finals destiny.
Joe Max Moore is the man in New England. for the USA. Incredible pressure that he had to deal with. He couldn't have put a ball any harder or any farther into that lower corner. Joe Max Moore is a winner, folks. And that's why he's in the lineup for Bruce Arena or for any U.S. coach anytime the U.S.'s future is on the line.
Now here comes Jamaica, playing for pride, playing for its last mathematical possibility. O'Brien knocks it down to Moore. Back to O'Brien. The United States has taken the lead. Moore scored in the 3rd minute on a diving header off of Reyna's free kick. Donovan won the penalty kick with a give-and-go move on the near side. Tackled brutally. An obvious penalty kick call. And Joe Max Moore put it on the side panel. No doubt about it. And the crowd is crazy in Foxborough. This portion of the match brought to you by Avaya.
What a competitor. What focus. To be able to put that one away. You're expected to score penalty kicks, but it's the pressure that changes the dynamics.
Donovan wins the ball twice.
What was it, Jack, you were saying about stoppage time?
There still should be significant stoppage time.
Maybe he'll shave some off.
Fair is fair. Donovan takes a 55-yard from Agus and kills it on the trap. With Reyna. Donovan, Son. Looking for O'Brien. It comes to Stewart. O'Brien against Davis. Tries the move, pulls it back, into the box. Corner kick. The United States pounding on the door. Looking for insurance.
John O'Brien's dribbling skills on display all afternoon here. Extreme confidence in holding possession. Also confidence in getting past very quick Jamaican defenders.
These are the kinds of frothing crowds that we see everywhere we travel with the United States. The passion has taken hold in Foxborough. Stewart looking for Reggie. Gardner for Jamaica. Here comes a counter. Good numbers for Jamaica. Whitmore on the carry. Turns it inside against O'Brien's delay. Johnson going well wide right to Paul Hall. He'll go right at Artis. Long cross all the way across the box. Gardner going way forward. Juggles to try to control against Donovan. Brings it out perimeter. Here's Scarlett the back. All stops cold for Jamaica. Nothing to lose. O'Brien belts it clear to safety. Davis. Tyrone Marshall. Hall. Davis. Stewart's tackle, it bounces into the middle for 4. Agus is there. And it comes out. The U.S. has to be very, very careful on play in its penalty area. Referees often look for a make-good PK.
September 1st, late in the first half against Honduras, Ernie Stewart could have put the U.S. up 2-1. Instead, he was stopped. That changed the game. The USA lost and put themselves in a difficult position. Today, Joe Max Moore, just a few moments ago, with the go-ahead goal for the United States, manages to find that lower corner in that extreme pressure situation.
This portion of the match is brought to you by the Jamaica Tourist Board. A match like this, you got to figure you write in Joe Max Moore's name. Joe Max Moore plays with tremendous aggression, gives up his body in all situations. He has both of the markers for the United States today. Cibrian has let another significant delay take place, and now we'll get a substitution for the United States. Kobe Jones is at the midfield report. Let's go downstairs to Rob Stone.
Well, guys, two things going on right now. Number one, Kobe Jones coming in for guess who, the man of the match, Joe Max Moore. Originally, this was going to be a sub for Chris Armas, but the staff obviously now thinking defense. Joe Max Moore is playing with the yellow card. Last words to Kobe Jones. Kobe, do all the dirty work, drop back, do it all.
Well, Joe Max Moore also reaching for that hamstring. He pulled it slightly. He felt a twinge in practice on Friday. He did not train with the team fully yesterday, and there was some question, but he has a lot of heart, and he showed it today coming out despite that hamstring problem, and doing the job for his team and his country.
O'Brien on the far side will take his time on the free kick. Now Reggie plays the short ball to O'Brien. Reyna lets it go, just wide. Confidence from the United States now marking assignments. No room for error in a one-goal game. This portion of the match brought to you by Phillips.
Definitely worth a try by Claudio Reyna. Now you'll see ARMAS and Reyna, O'Brien, Stewart all drop a little deeper in midfield to create a buffer zone to keep Jamaica as far as possible from the U.S. goal.
Donovan Jones hit hard from behind, play on because Gardner got ball. Donovan comes back to win it to Reyna. Landon Donovan has learned an awful lot about international play today. Jones on the far side against Davis. The dancing move. Kobe Jones has had a renaissance here and has rediscovered his confidence at taking on men. Backs up, finds O'Brien. O'Brien pulls it against Dixon into the box. Stewart! Great block by Scarlett. Saves a great chance on goal. Full marks to Scarlett for staying with his mark.
Full marks to John O'Brien for creating the chance in that far corner.
And here is Scarlett on the counter. Gardner back to Scarlett. Dangerous situation. Friedel staring into the sun on anything that comes off the left side here. Sane working against Jermaine Johnson. Scarlett tries the cross. Pope will have none of it.
Ernie Stewart streaking through the 6-yard box. But first, the dribbling skills again of John O'Brien. Step over moves, good control, fighting off a tackle, getting the ball out in front. Stewart hesitated ever so slightly, and the shot was blocked.
Whitmore, Gardner, everyone going forward for Jamaica. Splits the double team. A push, no, it's a push ruled against Gardner.
Gardner's been a man that's caused a lot of problems for the United States with his dribbling up the left side. That one, he had his arms out pretty far out in front of it. Normally they're called not given. Reyna's staying stride for stride with him. But similar to what John O'Brien was doing in the opposite corner just a few moments ago, taking players on, John O'Brien has been fantastic on the left side of midfield.
Friedel crushes one, looking for Jones. Dixon volleys back to midfield. Armas, Marshall. Reyna wins the ball. Donovan outside of the foot, clever ball, and there's Scarlett again. Scarlett has won an awful lot of respect with his play today. The scores from around CONCACAF. 10 minutes to go, Mexico and Costa Rica. If that ends in a tie, and 10 men each, we're now told, Mexico and Costa Rica each getting one thrown out. If Trinidad and Tobago pulls off the miracle at Honduras, if all three of these results hold, ladies and gentlemen, the United States will qualify for the World Cup.
Today.
And nobody bet on that.
Jack, a player that the U.S. would probably look to in this situation, not available today to solidify the defense. Carlos Llamosa suspended because of yellow cards. I'd love to see his presence on the field in this situation, but it's not possible today.
Push against Jamaica, 90th minute, still no word on stoppage time. I am sure that the players have no idea what's going on in Honduras and what's going on in San Jose, Costa Rica. I'm sure they have no idea that they could be on the verge of getting to the biggest sporting event on earth on an extremely emotional day for United States soccer. 15 seconds from full time here, and we still have not seen what kind of stoppage time will be added here. Sane heads it forward. Scarlett, first touch. 4 minutes of stoppage time. Could have been more. Easily. Davis going forward. Legie has had a tremendous game so far. Agus just wants that thing the heck out of here. Run the clock.
Control at midfield by John O'Brien, by Claudio Reyna, by Ernie Stewart when he's dropped back into midfield. Made a huge difference in this game.
Reyna has been a giant for the United States.
As has O'Brien.
Jermaine Johnson coming square for Scarlett. Donovan coming back defensively. Scarlett runs him wide, takes it inside. Gardner, Johnson, Donovan heads it forward to Reyna. Again, blasting. Just get it out. Reyna's down, holding his head, rolling around. In stoppage time. Play continues. Pope, Reyna just getting up. Now he's on his knees. He's back on his feet. Johnson outside for Scarlett. Everybody forward for Jamaica, looking for the goal to tie the United States here. Gardner going middle against Pope. Bangs against him outside the foot, gets it back. Gardner flicks it over wide, across the box. Agus out of the 6-yard box. Ping pong, and it comes to Friedel. Jeff Agus, tremendous defensive play. And here comes the counter. Val Dixon knocks it out.
You want drama, folks? Loose ball in the U.S. penalty area. I was afraid Jeff Agus may have inadvertently knocked the ball toward his own goal, but he managed to turn it out.
Thousands of hearts skipping a beat in Foxborough. A hush coming over a crowd that was delirious moments ago. Up the wing, the fresh-legged Jones. Good hard tackle, taking it out. And the U.S. has the luxury of the lead here, and it can take its time. About 2 minutes away from victory. And what at least would be a win and in situation in Trinidad and Tobago, and maybe by virtue of an incredible gift, something better than that today. Landon Donovan wasting some more clock, about 1:45 to go. The emotions bubbling all the way to the surface. The United States needs to keep them in check for 100 seconds here. Scarlett, Jones the defender. Whitmore, crafty with the ball. Jermaine Johnson, known for his offense, tries to split the seam. Reyna and Stewart comes out, and it's a U.S. throw. Let's look at the All-State save of the day.
Just a moment ago, the All-State save of the game. The United States not able to clear a bad hop here, and a chance saved off the line by Jeff Agus as Friedel was beaten.
Donovan's onside. Landon Donovan cuts it back middle. Marshall pokes it away. Final 45 seconds, desperate last chance for Jamaica. The United States needs to do what it always has done best, to defend right here. Jones disrupts it in midfield against Johnson. Whitmore. Davis. Hall. Reggie. The defender blocks it out. It's going to go off the Jamaican, a U.S. throw-in.
What a different day for David Reggie than it was September 1 in the loss to Honduras.
Up the line. They're in stoppage time in Mexico. Everybody, 3 minutes of stoppage time in Mexico. We're done here. The United States has won a game it had to win. Joe Maxmore with 2. And the U.S. is back in control of its own destiny. Joe Maxmore, the Chevrolet U.S. Man of the Match. Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to the U.S. Soccer Foundation in Joe Maxmore's name.
Claudio Reyna showed why everyone talks about him as Captain America, controlling the midfield for the United States, making work easier for Ernie Stewart, making work easier for Landon Donovan. They controlled, they held the ball. John O'Brien was awesome out on the left side of midfield. Friedel came up huge on a couple of occasions. He was saved at the end by a Jeff Agus goal line clearance.
These players have so little in common. They are of different religions, of different ethnic backgrounds, but they love to play for their country. And they have come up with a dramatic win here. We'll be back. United States is going to the World Cup. The scores are in their final. Mexico 0-0, and Honduras has lost at home to Trinidad and Tobago. By virtue of the 3 results today, the United States is going to the World Cup Finals of 2002 in Korea and Japan. It is the greatest thing a nation can do in sport worldwide, and the U.S. for the 4th straight time is going.
A storybook day. The U.S. players rose to the occasion. Joe Max Moore, he bore himself up to the pressure on the penalty kick and put away the winning goal.
Free, the home of the brave, going to the World Cup. Players can play brilliant entire careers and never get the chance to appear on the world's biggest sporting stage. On a day when a top national team was playing at home for the first time since the attack on this country on the 11th of September. The boys made us all proud. The final score from Foxborough, the United States 2 and Jamaica 1. 2 goals by Joe Max Moore. The U.S. plays Trinidad and Tobago in what is a game of very little meaning on the 11th of November. Landon Donovan won the penalty kick. Joe Max Moore buried it. ABC Sports is online at ESPN.com, keyword ABC Sports. This is ABC Sports, continuing the tradition of excellence.
We're joined now by Joe Max Moore, 2 goals, including the game winner, the one which eventually put you guys in your 4th consecutive World Cup. Bruce Arena had a lot of faith in you today, and what did you do today to prove him correct?
I was just trying to be dangerous. I was trying to get around the goal, get some good shots off, and you know, I think we could have scored a couple more, to be honest. We created a lot of chances today, and I think we deserved the 3 points.
Take us through that early goal.
There's a free kick just outside the box here, and Claudio whipped a great ball in. I beat my guy to the near post and was able just to redirect it on goal.
15 minutes left. You guys are tied 1-1. A little bit of panic starting to seep in?
A little bit, and we needed 3 points. We absolutely needed 3 points today. As it turns out, some of the other teams in the group did us a favor too, but I can't believe we qualified. I wasn't expecting them to do it here today.
To the average fan out there who doesn't understand the importance of qualifying for a World Cup, try and put it in perspective for them.
There's so many kids playing in this country now, and it's important for them to see their own national team in the World Cup. And so there was a lot of pressure on us to do well, and it's for the kids, the youth, the young players in this country.
Joe Max, congratulations. Go celebrate. You'll be off to World Cup 2002.